converts HDR videos to perfect SDR. When importing the videos, first we must check that the source video has the correct video gamma and color space metadata. In the media list we can check that the gamma and color space of the source videos are correctly set. In case the metadata is not correct set in the videos we want to convert, we can use the interpret dialog or use the import options feature to set it correctly. For example, this video has the gamma set to unspecified. So just open the interpret video dialog and set it correctly to ST2048. The conversion to SDR can be configured for all videos or separately for each video. If the set color correction for all videos mode is selected, then the conversions can be configured directly here in the color tab, and also in the color correction dialog with real-time preview. In this mode, the configuration set in the color tab or the last configuration created in the color correction dialog will be applied to all videos. And if the color correction for selected video is set, then the gamma and color space conversions can be configured separately for each video in the color correction dialog. In this mode, only the videos configured in the color correction dialog will be converted. For example, for converting all videos to SDR, just select the All Videos mode and activate the color space conversion to Rec 709. And the gamma conversion can be configured with 709 tone mapped, with applies a generic tone mapping. Or Rec 709, in this case we can adjust the tone mapping or disable it. The tone mapping is configured automatically for the conversion depending on the source video's gamma. To set the default tone mapping we can select it again, or click the right mouse button. In both modes, set color correction for all videos or for selected videos, we can open the color correction dialog and check and adjust the conversion with real-time preview. For example, now we set the selected video mode and open a video the color correction dialog. If the HDR metadata is not present or it is wrong, we can check the maximum nits by selecting the HDR display mode and see the waveform or the parade. In this case the video is 1000 nits. For converting to SDR, set the display mode to SDR. And select and activate the color space conversion to Rec 709. The Rec 709 tone mapped is recommended for rare or wrong HDR videos with very saturated colors. And for the gamma conversion we can select 709 tone mapped. This applies a generic tone mapping. And by selecting Rec 709 we can adjust the tone mapping. After selecting it, the tone mapping is adjusted automatically depending on the source video gamma. We can change the tone mapping amount using the slider. To set the tone mapping to default, select again the conversion, or press the right mouse button. We can check in the parade that the video is perfectly converted to SDR. We can use all color effects and LUTs to modify or improve the video. The video is ready for encoding. This is how most videos can be easily converted to SDR, but with few videos we can find some issues. For example, this is a common issue for any video format SDR or HDR. This 1000 nits video metadata shows video levels, but if we open the video in color correction and set the HDR display mode, we can see in the parade that the maximum nits goes to almost 2000 nits, and also the shadows are too deep. And if we activate the button levels, then we can see that now the maximum nits are correct at 1000 nits. When the button levels is activated, the video is corrected in full levels, and the final video will be rendered in video levels. If you want the final video in full levels, go to the media list and change the video levels to full in the interpret dialog. Once the levels are correct, then just select the SDR display mode and activate the conversions. The video is ready for encoding. Finally, the next video is HDR 2000 nits. In color correction we can check that the metadata is correct by setting the HDR display mode. And in the waveform or the parade we can check that the video is actually 2000 nits. For converting to SDR, we set the display mode to SDR and activate the conversions to Rec 709 color space. And if selecting Rec 709 tone mapped, it works fine for this video. But when selecting the 709, we can see some highlights clipping. In this case, we can easily adjust the tone mapping amount to recover the highlights simply with the highlights effect. But for automatic conversions without adjusting the tone mapping, we can set the correct nits in the Interpret Video dialog or in the Set Custom Camera and Color Space dialog. In this case, we just set the video gamma to ST2084 2000 nits. We can see that the ST2084 2000 nits is correctly set in the video. Now when selecting again 709, we can check in the parade that the tone mapping is correctly set for the 2000 nits video. We can also modify or improve the video with any of the color filters. For example, simply lowering the shadows and tweaking the saturation curve. The video is ready for encoding. Finally, we can also apply any other feature. For example, in the transform panel, the SDR video can be converted to HD. Also, convert the frame rate to any standard in progressive or interlaced modes. Or keep the original video frame rate. Now the videos are ready to be encoded.
Thanks for watching.